The breaking point. The observation deck of the diplomatic vessel Olive Branch offered a spectacular view of Earth, a blue-green jewel suspended in the blackness of space. Commander Elena Reyes stood with her hands clasped behind her back, her dark eyes fixed on her home planet. In 12 hours, she would lead the human delegation to the Axiom Confederation's flagship to finalize peace accords after 3 years of tense first contact relations. "Beautiful sight, isn't it?" said Dr. Marcus Chen, the delegation's xenolinguist, as he joined her at the viewport. "Worth protecting," Elena replied, her voice soft but resolute. "The Axiom representatives have been cordial, but something feels off. Their body language doesn't match their words." Marcus smiled. "That's why you're leading this mission, Commander. You'd notice these things." Elena had spent 15 years in military intelligence before transitioning to diplomatic service. When humanity first encountered the Axiom Confederation, a coalition of 7 advanced species with technology centuries beyond Earth's, she was among the first to advocate for cautious engagement rather than immediate surrender or aggression. "Have the final treaty terms been sent?" she asked. "Yes." Governor Thexela confirmed receipt. "Tomorrow, we make history." Elena nodded but couldn't shake her unease. "Double-check our emergency protocols. Standard procedure." The next morning, Elena led her team of 12 aboard the Axiom flagship, a massive structure that resembled a crystalline snowflake stretching 5 kilometers across. Governor Thexela, a tall insectoid being with iridescent carapace, greeted them personally. "Commander Reyes, an honor to finalize our people's friendship," said Thexela, mandibles clicking in what the humans had learned was a gesture of respect. The ceremony proceeded smoothly. Documents were exchanged. Promises of technological sharing, cultural exchange, and mutual defense were formalized. Elena signed her name with a steady hand despite her lingering doubts. It was during the ceremonial toast that her communicator vibrated with an emergency signal, then another, then 50 more in rapid succession. "Excuse me," she said, stepping away from the gathering. The message on her secure channel froze her blood. "XIM, Fleet Awakens from FTL. Thousands of ships. Orbital bombardment commenced. Civilian casualties massive. Enacting duo MSDA. To NTINGNC. God help us all." Elena looked up to see Governor Thexela watching her, compound eyes glittering not with friendship but with something more primal. "Satisfaction." "You knew," Elena whispered. "A necessary cleansing," Thexela responded calmly. "Your species has such potential, but your unpredictability makes you dangerous." The Confederation Council voted unanimously. The peace talks were merely to keep your defenses down. Elena's training took over. She tapped a complex pattern into her communicator, a code that would activate her team's extraction protocol. "You've made a mistake," she said, her voice deadly calm. Thexela tilted her head. "No, Commander. We've studied your species thoroughly, your military capabilities, your orbital defenses, your leadership structure. By now, your major cities are ash. Your governments have fallen. This was not a decision made lightly, but the Confederation must protect its future." Alarms blared through the flagship as Elena's team enacted their emergency protocols. The diplomatic party, all covert special forces, moved with practiced efficiency, deploying smoke grenades and personal shields. "You think you know us?" Elena's laugh was bitter as she backed toward her team's position. "You've only seen what we wanted you to see." Axiom security forces poured into the chamber, but too late. The human delegation had vanished into an emergency teleportation field, technology the Axiom didn't know humans possessed. The Olive Branch was already accelerating away from the Axiom flagship, its diplomatic exterior falling away to reveal the military-grade hull and weapons systems. From the bridge, Elena watched real-time feeds of Earth burning. Major cities were impact craters. Oceans boiled where the largest weapons had struck. The planet's night side, once a spiderweb of lights, was mostly dark. But not completely dark. Status of Protocol Lazarus, she demanded. 16 Deep Earth military installations confirm survival, reported her communications officer. Antarctic Command is online. Luna base intact but silent. Mars colonies reporting minimal damage. Elena closed her eyes briefly. The Axiom's intelligence had been good, but not perfect. They didn't know about the bunkers built after the Axiom first appeared in Earth's solar system, bunkers designed to survive planetary bombardment. They didn't know about Project Phoenix. Set course for Rendezvous Point Omega, she ordered, and get me a direct line to General Santos at Antarctic Command. 3 weeks later, Elena stood in a cavernous war room carved into the Antarctic bedrock, 3 kilometers below the surface. The walls displayed holographic feeds from surviving human outposts across the solar system and beyond, secret military and research installations the Axiom had never discovered. General Santos, a weathered woman with steel-gray hair and eyes to match, addressed the gathered military leaders. The Axiom believe Earth is neutralized. They've established minimal occupation forces and moved most of their fleet back to their core systems. They think we're finished, said Admiral Takashi from his command post on Europa. Their arrogance will be their undoing. Elena studied the tactical displays. How long until Phoenix assets are ready? The first wave is already operational, replied Dr. Lakshmi Patel, lead scientist of Project Phoenix. 20 stealth ships with enhanced drive systems, adaptive AI targeting, phase shift weaponry, everything we've been developing in secret since first contact. General Santos nodded grimly. We always hoped these would never be needed. They slaughtered billions, Elena said, her voice flat. They did it while signing peace accords, while smiling and shaking our hands. She looked around the room. We tried diplomacy. We tried being civilized. They mistook it for weakness. On the main display, footage played of Axiom ships bombarding civilian areas, hospitals, schools. The Axiom had been methodical in their genocide attempt. Commander Reyes, General Santos said formally, given your experience with Axiom tactical patterns and your background in special operations, we're assigning you command of the 1st Phoenix Squadron. Elena straightened. Mission parameters. Show them we're still here. Show them what humanity does when pushed to the edge. The stealth ship Nemesis emerged from its hiding place in the Kuiper Belt, its advanced propulsion system leaving no detectable signature. Elena commanded from the bridge, her diplomatic uniform replaced with tactical gear. Her crew, 20 of Earth's finest survivors, operated with silent efficiency. Their target, an Axiom monitoring outpost on Ganymede, one of Jupiter's moons, not their largest installation, but strategically valuable, and believed to be coordinating the occupation forces left in the Sol system. Weapons status, Elena asked. Phase cannons charge. Kinetic impactors loaded. Cyber warfare package ready for deployment, reported her weapons officer. Communications, ready to broadcast on all Axiom frequencies. Elena nodded. Take us in. Silent approach. The Nemesis looked through Ganymede's minimal defenses like a ghost. The Axiom, confident in their victory, had grown complacent. Their sensors never detected the human vessel until it was directly above their main facility. Open a channel, Elena ordered. The face of the Axiom station commander appeared on screen. A Viridian, one of the reptilian species within the Confederation. His scales paled when he recognized Elena. Impossible, he hissed. You're dead. Your species is extinct. Clearly not, Elena replied coldly. I bring a message from Earth. She nodded to her communications officer, who transmitted a simple text message across all Axiom channels. We are still here. We remember. We are coming. You should have made sure we were dead, Elena said to the Axiom commander. Now you've created something worse than what you feared. The phase cannons fired, slicing through the station's quantum shields as if they weren't there. the result of years of secret research into Axiom defense systems. The kinetic impactors followed, reducing the outpost to rubble. As the Nemesis pulled away, Alina broadcast a final message to all Axiom communications nodes in the system. Footage of Earth burning, followed by a simple phrase in the Axiom High language. "You taught us war. Now learn to fear it." In war rooms across what remained of human space, survivors watched as the first strike was confirmed successful. It wasn't just a military victory. It was a statement. Humanity would not go quietly. They would not beg for mercy or sue for peace. The Phoenix Protocol had begun, and with it, a new kind of warfare, one where humanity's creativity, adaptability, and now their cold rage would redefine what it meant to make an enemy of Earth. In the darkness between worlds, more Phoenix ships activated their drives, each targeting a different Axiom outpost. The message would be the same at each. Humanity wasn't defeated. They were transformed. The Reckoning. Fleet Commander Vexlar stood before the Confederation Council, his silver scales dulled with fatigue. The chamber's curved walls displayed tactical feeds from across Axiom space, each one showing another installation gone dark, another outpost reduced to debris. "Explain yourself, Commander," demanded Sovereign Zelfar, the Ridian leader who had authorized Earth's destruction. "How can a defeated species strike with such precision?" "They were never defeated," Vexlar replied, his tail twitching with nervous energy. "They were wounded. There's a difference." The council chamber fell silent. 17 representatives from 7 species stared at him, with expressions ranging from disbelief to outrage. "The attack on Outpost Saris 9 makes 23 strikes in the past month alone," Vexlar continued, "each more devastating than the last, each leaving the same message." He activated a hologram showing the wreckage of a Confederation science vessel. Burned into the hull was a simple phrase: "Consequences." "Their tactics are evolving," Vexlar explained. "They're not just targeting military installations anymore. The research outpost on Helios was developing medical technology. The trading hub at Nexus Point was civilian. They're animals," hissed Council Member Drav, mandibles clicking furiously. "This proves we were right to eliminate them." Vexlar's inner eyelids flickered in the Kreelan gesture of disagreement. "With respect, Council Member, it proves the opposite. We thought them primitive, predictable. We were wrong." The tactical feeds updated, showing a new alert. Another Axiom outpost had gone silent. This one a major shipyard in the Proxima system. "How are they doing this?" Sovereign Zelfar demanded. "Their technology was centuries behind ours." "Not anymore," Vexlar said grimly. "Intelligence suggests they had a parallel research program, something called Phoenix Protocol, developing countermeasures to our technology since first contact. They were preparing for the possibility that we might become hostile. And now?" asked a Viridian counselor. "Now they're using everything they developed." Vexlar pulled up sensor readings from the attack on the Ganymede outpost. "Phase shift weapons that bypass our shields. Stealth systems our sensors can't detect. And something else." He hesitated. "Speak freely, Commander," ordered Zelfar. "They're inside our systems, our communications, our defense networks. That's how they're striking with such precision. They know exactly where to hit us when we're most vulnerable." "Impossible," scoffed Drav. "Our cybersecurity was designed to repel known threats," Vexlar interrupted. "The humans think differently. Their approach to technology, to warfare, it's unlike anything in Confederation records." On the primary display, a new message appeared, overriding the Council's secure channel. The face of Commander Elena Rice filled the screen, her expression cold and determined. "Greetings, Axiom Confederation Council," she said. "By now you've realized your mistake. You thought Earth was just a planet, that destroying our cities would break us. You were wrong." Elena's image was replaced by footage of new human vessels emerging from hidden shipyards in the outer solar system. Sleek, predatory craft unlike their previous designs. We tried diplomacy. Elena's voice continued over the images. We offered friendship. You chose annihilation instead. Now you face the consequences. The council chamber erupted in angry shouts and demands. Vexlar watched silently as the message continued. For each billion humans you murdered, we will take one of your worlds, Elena stated. Not to destroy them, as you did ours, but to show you that we can. That nowhere in your confederation is beyond our reach. The transmission ended, leaving the council in stunned silence. Find them, Sovereign Zelfar finally commanded. Destroy every last human vessel, every outpost, every survivor. Complete what we started. Vexlar bowed and withdrew, but as he returned to his command ship, doubts gnawed at him. The Confederation had made a catastrophic miscalculation, and now they were doubling down instead of reassessing. In the 6 months since the attack on Earth, Vexlar had studied every encounter with the human forces. Their tactics were unconventional, adaptive. They never attacked the same way twice. They struck where least expected, then vanished before a response could be mounted. And they were learning. Each engagement showed new adaptations to Axiom countermeasures. Their technology was evolving at a pace that defied Confederation models. Aboard his flagship, the Indomitable Truth, Vexlar reviewed the latest intelligence. Show me the pattern of human strikes. He ordered his tactical eye. A three-dimensional map appeared, displaying the locations of all confirmed human attacks. Initially, they had focused on military targets, outposts, weapon platforms, patrol vessels. But recently, they had shifted to infrastructure, communications relays, supply chains, trade routes. They're not just fighting us, Vexlar murmured. They're dismantling us. His second-in-command, Sub-Commander Kulla, joined him at the display. New intelligence, Commander. We've captured surveillance footage from Nexus Point before it fell. The footage showed human soldiers moving with practiced efficiency through the trading hub. They weren't killing indiscriminately. They were selecting targets, downloading data, planting devices at key junctions. They're gathering intelligence, Vexlar observed. And something else. He pointed to small devices the humans were placing throughout the facility. What are those? Unknown technology, Kulla replied. But after the humans withdrew, there were reports of strange phenomena. Axiom civilians experiencing vivid nightmares, shared hallucinations of Earth burning, phantom transmissions on personal communications devices. Vexlar's scales rippled with unease. Psychological warfare. Effective, too, Kulla noted. Morale is collapsing across frontier worlds. 3 trading guilds have suspended operations in sectors with human activity. The Viridian colony on Procyon IV is evacuating despite no direct threats. Fear, Vexlar said softly. They're weaponizing fear. 2 days later, Vexlar's fleet detected a human vessel near the Arcturus Gateway, a key transit point connecting 3 Confederation sectors. Instead of ordering an immediate attack, he made an unprecedented decision. Hail them, he commanded. His bridge crew exchanged shocked glances. Commander, Kulla questioned. Hail the human vessel, Vexlar repeated firmly. I want to speak with them. After a tense moment, a response came through. Commander Elena Reyes appeared on the main view screen, her expression revealing nothing. This is unexpected, she said. The great Vexlar himself. Your reputation precedes you. Vexlar straightened. As does yours, Commander Reyes. You've led a remarkable campaign. Not by choice, she replied coldly. I understand, Vexlar said, surprising both his crew and Elena. The Confederation made a grave error in attacking Earth. Elena's eyes narrowed. Is this some kind of trick? No trick, a recognition of reality. Vexlar gestured to a data display showing the effectiveness of human strikes. You're winning, Commander. Not through superior numbers or firepower, but through superior strategy. The Council refuses to see it, but I cannot ignore the evidence. What do you want? Elena demanded. To talk To find a way to end this before it consumes both our peoples. Elena laughed bitterly. End this. You destroy our home world. Killed billions. There's nothing to talk about. There's always something to talk about. Vexler insisted. The alternative is mutual destruction. Your campaign is devastating, but the Confederation has resources you cannot match. Eventually, numbers will tell. We don't need to match your numbers, Elena replied. We just need to break your will. And we're doing that quite effectively. Vexlar's inner eyelids flickered in acknowledgement. Yes, you are. Which is why I'm proposing something unprecedented. I'm listening. A meeting. Just you and me. Neutral territory. No weapons, no fleets. A chance to find another path. Elena was silent for a long moment. Why should I trust you? You shouldn't, Vexlar admitted. But consider this. If the Confederation had understood humans better, we would never have made the catastrophic mistake of attacking Earth. I'm trying to understand now before it's too late for everyone. The human vessel departed without further communication, but 3 days later, Vexlar received encrypted coordinates for a meeting location, an abandoned mining facility on a rogue asteroid in unclaimed space. Against the Council's direct orders, Vexlar took a small shuttle and went alone. Elena was waiting, flanked by 2 guards with weapons that could pierce Kreelan scales like paper. The mining facility was cold, dimly lit, and stripped of anything valuable. I came as promised, Vexlar said, raising his empty hands. No weapons. Elena nodded to her guards, who withdrew to a respectful distance but remained vigilant. Say what you came to say, Commander. The Confederation is fracturing, Vexlar stated bluntly. Your campaign has exposed weaknesses we didn't know existed. 3 member worlds are considering withdrawal. Trade has collapsed in 4 sectors. Military recruitment is down 60%. Good, Elena replied without emotion. Perhaps. But what comes after? The Confederation has stood for 800 years. Its collapse will destabilize half the galaxy. That's not our problem. Vexlar moved to a viewport, gazing out at the starfield. When I was young, my mentor told me that true victory isn't destroying your enemy. It's transforming them into something that can no longer threaten you. He turned back to Elena. You've already won that victory, Commander. The Confederation will never threaten humanity again. The question now is, what kind of galaxy do you want to emerge from these ashes? Elena's hard expression faltered briefly. We want justice. Justice or vengeance? Vexlar asked quietly. There's a difference. Tell that to the billions dead on Earth. I would if I could, Vexlar replied with genuine regret. The attack was unconscionable, but I can tell it to the billions of innocent Confederation citizens who had no role in that decision yet now live in terror of human retribution. Elena paced the small chamber, conflict evident in her movements. What exactly are you proposing? A new compact. Not peace. It's too soon for that. But rules of engagement. Limits to the destruction. A pathway to eventual reconciliation, however distant that may seem now. The Council would never agree to this. The Council is losing control, Vexlar stated. There are those of us who recognize that the old Confederation cannot survive in its current form. We're prepared to forge a new path. Elena studied him with the intensity that had made her a formidable diplomat before becoming a military commander. You're talking about rebellion within the Confederation. I'm talking about evolution, Vexlar corrected. Forced by necessity and your remarkable campaign. Their discussion continued for hours, probing possibilities, establishing boundaries, finding the narrow path between justice and annihilation. When they finally emerged, something fundamental had shifted in the conflict. 3 weeks later, Confederation citizens across 50 worlds watched in shock as Vexlar and 5 other high-ranking commanders publicly denounced the Council's decision to attack Earth and announced the formation of a reform coalition. Simultaneously, human forces struck the 3 most hardline Council members with surgical precision, removing them from power. The Axiom Civil War lasted just 72 days. The Reform Coalition, supported by selective human strikes against loyalist forces, quickly gained the upper hand. When it ended, the Confederation was transformed. A new governing council included representatives from all member species, plus one seat reserved for humanity. 1 year after Earth's devastation, Elena stood on the observation deck of the newly constructed orbital platform above what had once been North America. Below, reclamation projects were beginning the centuries-long process of healing the planet. Advanced Axiom terraforming technology, provided as reparations, accelerated the recovery of devastated ecosystems. Vexillar joined her, his silver scales reflecting Earth's blues and greens. "It's remarkable how quickly life returns," he observed. "The resilience of your world matches that of its people." Elena's expression remained solemn. "We lost so much that can never be recovered." "Yes," Vexillar acknowledged. "Some wounds never fully heal. But what grows in their place can still be strong, still be beautiful." On a nearby display, footage showed the first human colony ships departing for worlds seeded by the Reformed Confederation. Not charity or gesture, payment of a debt that could never truly be settled. "You know," Elena said quietly, "before all this, we wondered if we were alone in the universe, whether we'd find friends or enemies among the stars." She turned to Vexillar. "We never considered we might find both in the same species." "The universe is rarely simple," Vexillar replied. "Neither are its inhabitants." In the darkness beyond Earth's recovering atmosphere, a new generation of ships prepared for departure, some human, some Axiom, some crewed by both. Not explorers this time, nor conquerors or victims. Something new, forged in the crucible of terrible choices and their consequences. They carried with them the most important lesson of the conflict: that civilization isn't measured by technology or power, but by the wisdom to know when to extend a hand in peace and when to form a fist in defiance. Humanity had tried being civilized. When that failed, they had shown the galaxy their other face. Now they carried both possibilities forward into the stars, forever changed but unbroken. The reckoning was complete. What followed would be written in the light of new stars.